Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. In this review, we'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Fire Team 788 Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Now, if you have purchased the G.I. Joe Classified HasLab His Tank, you can purchase this separately so you can enhance your playability of your very first G.I. Joe HasLab. Now, you don't have to buy the HasLab His Tank to purchase these. These were sold separately. As of the video, I think they are currently sold out. I'm not sure if they're going to go back in stock or not. But here on front of the box, you can see that you get the three characters: the Cobra Hiss Officer, the Range Viper, and the Cobra Infantry Trooper. You see how beautifully that box matches your HasLab box. Looks very, very cool. Love the front of this. It even has a Cobra Hiss logo there on the bottom by the warning. I absolutely love the back of this box. This has like this wire diagram of all the figures and the accessories that you get. This is pretty incredible looking. Here's the top of the box. Here's the bottom of the box. And here's the side of the box. That beautiful artwork. That looks incredible. These is 110 of the series. So if you are trying to get all the numbers, you're definitely going to need this set. There's the other side of the box. Looks pretty cool. Love it. Now, regardless if you're a package collector or not, I know there's no window box for these, but the artwork on here is absolutely beautiful. I do highly recommend keeping your 788 Fire Team box with your Cobra Hiss Tank box. You can see how amazing they look together. They definitely have some nostalgia to it, being the very first HasLab and being a kind of like a add-on pack for the very first time. And I definitely, if you open your figures up, these boxes will definitely be worth some money in the future. Or if you're just an overall collector that love the art like myself, they look beautiful on the shelf beside each other. So first up, we do have the Cobra Hiss Officer here in front of us. I love the overall aesthetic of this character with the black and the red, but what I question is, where's the gray coming from? Because there's no gray on the Hiss Tank or the other figures that are included with the Hiss Tank. So they're just going to kind of a reach here with this lighter gray. So let's go ahead and take a look at all the features he has to offer, all the aesthetics, and all the little nuances that the figures come with. Alright, so here we have the head sculpt. These are straight up repaints from other figures. But we have the gray mask. The eyes are painted pretty nice. The black balaclava type mask. He kind of has that pad done in black there with some textures on the side of his head. Looks pretty cool. The back of it. You see that mask, that gray mask, just wraps on the bottom of the base of the head, just above the neck. It's pretty cool. Then he has a Cobra insignia there on his chest. And I do like the red and black harness. Basically red, the black pads across the shoulders. Looks pretty cool. The harness itself just comes on the back, has a peg all the way through it. Pretty decent. On the arm here we have a little bit of like a symbol there on the inner arm. We have a red gauntlet with padded gloves on top of the hand, the gray gloves. And then over here is pretty much the same, with the same type of sculpted on the Cobra insignia. Have his belt, this is all red, no paint. We need a little more color in the belts. Then keep your pistol here. You can keep your knife or something there. Let's see what he comes with. We do have a knife sleeve on this leg. Pretty cool. Mine got a little bent because it was like the rubber band was strapped around there. You can see the little indent there. Hopefully I can pop that out with some heat. Red knee pads. And then we have those gray boots. Kind of weird. But you see the texture in his pants. Looks really, really good. I'm all for black troopers. Myself, I am waiting for some black shadow crimson guards. I guess so they stop wasting our time with needless repaints and give us the ones we really, really want. Okay, so it comes with a helmet. It's basically a black helmet with red stripe down the middle. We have this V here in the center. Looks pretty good. 788 there on the side. And then we have that red trim at the base. Looks pretty good. And it fits on the officer pretty good once you press it down. That looks great. Very nice aesthetic there, even with the gray. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of that gray, but it's not a deal breaker for me. We can see that it comes with some accessories. First off, it comes with this weapon with the movable clip. That's okay there. But the problems with this figure is basically it's going to be his accessories. This accessory, and then this accessory that comes with also this other blaster. They do have their drill barrels, but these weapons are created for the female Valkyrie figures, so they're throwing these weapons around, but they're too small for the Cobra Troopers to hold, and they look weird and out of scale. Okay, as you can see here how small that weapon is. That's an assault rifle that's not long enough for anywhere near the appropriate size for these figures, and how little that gun looks in the male hands. Now, if you want to see a comparison of what a male and a female looks like, check out one of my shorts I just did for the tank driver and the gunner. You can see how much difference in scale that is. So there's definitely an issue there where Hasbro needs to separate female weapons to male weapons and not include those in mixed offerings like that. So it also comes with this pistol. It's pretty decent. It's a little pistol, but there is a place to keep it right here on this side. So that's really cool. So he can keep some of his accessories on the figure, if not all of them. It comes with a knife, because it's silver blade, black handle, and there's definitely a place to keep that, which is kind of, in my opinion, kind of overkill. Sorry about the light. That light's a pain for some reason. But then you can keep that knife on there. It's either the shadow or my light. Can never keep that straight for some reason anymore. Looks pretty good. Now you see here on the box, that's the 4 accessories it's coming with. But it's a surprise in the box, I guess. You do get, I believe it's going to be his case here. It goes on his back, because it doesn't fit any other characters or make sense, because the other characters actually have a backpack, and getting that in there might be a challenge. Probably have to line that up a little better, but it's staying for our purposes now. It's definitely real hard to get in because the plastic's so soft on that, but it's another accessory for our figure, so I guess more is better. Alright, our next figure in this set is a Cobra Hiss Ranged Viper. Here's a good example of this. Gray is like, okay, where did that come from? Now, if they would have utilized the darker gray that's on the arm of the shirt, on the pants, and then on that figure, obviously, it'd probably look a lot better. I think the gray on the helmet is kind of too light. It's kind of misplaced in my opinion, but it's not too bad, but it could be better. Here we have the Ranged Viper skull mask. It's done in a black glossy plastic. It looks fantastic. With the red eyes and red nose, kind of nostrils, I guess. Here's the side of the head sculpt. You can see the sculpted brains. Pretty cool. We do have this cylinder there on the side by his ear. Probably like a communication piece. The back of this is nothing but brains and a brain G-string. Is that a thing? And there's the other side, pretty much the same as the other. And then we can see here on his arm, he has a tampo of a 788 on his arm. I do like that very much. And I think what we have here in the middle here is that Semper Fidelis logo there. It's so small, hard to see. And you kind of have a Cobra logo here on this shoulder. That's pretty cool. The overall web gear or vest that he has on has some pouches. 2 shades of red there. Pretty decent. And on the back, we do have maybe like a plate carrier, and then a hole in the back there for his backpack. It's the back of his belt. He has a hoop here for his knife. And that reminds me, there's a hoop on this guy, but we have nothing so far to stick in it. I noticed that. So that's a wasted opportunity there. Front of the belt looks pretty cool. We have the gray pants. We have the 2 thigh pads. one with just pouches on it with the black pouches and red pad and straps. And then we have a gun case here for his pistol, another pouch, the darker gray, or maybe it's like a flat black knee pads and his boots. Looks pretty good. So overall, it's a range viper. For me, I love the blue versions. Those are my absolute favorite. I have no interest in army building the Cobra Range Viper. I kind of wish we got an opportunity to buy maybe the officer, the infantry trooper separately. Could have army built a couple of those, but I have no interest in the Range Vipers. I have especially one here just for his tank. You know, that's okay with me, I guess. Because after all, he's nothing but just like a support trooper. In my overall opinion, I think should have left the Range Viper out and used a Televiper, because it makes more sense, because it go better with the future Techno Viper and SMS. I think the Techno Viper and Televiper went a lot better supporting the his tank. And then you have your troopers as your fire team. Now the Range Viper is one that comes probably with the most accessories. First off, he does have his red little scarf here. It's kind of just split. You kind of just like put it over top of his head. That light's going to drive me crazy. So that looks pretty good. It kind of fills in that gap, gives it a little more color. If you think that's necessary, then you get his ammunition strap that goes over his head. That definitely helps bring out the, the figure a little better, in my opinion. I think that looks pretty good. The grays is a little off-putting, but not too bad. He comes with a pistol, and it's like a extended mag, a little pistol here. Looks good. You can see there's a place to store it right there on his leg. Fits very nicely. It comes with a knife. Now, here's one of the problems with this guy is the quality of plastic being used here. My knife is bent. It's very soft and rubbery, which, we're getting used to this poor quality weapons from Hasbro. So unless it's a HasLab, you get very nice quality plastic. And there we keep your knife slash, kind of looks like a side of me, but there it is. Next up, it comes with a backpack. The rounds are painted in copper. We have this little red dot there, a little bit of paint. The hose, we have this antenna for communication for his radio. Pocket, pretty cool. Here is the Range Viper with his backpack on. One thing I want to give you some advice on: put the hose in the back of his head before you're putting the backpack on. It gives you a lot more free room to put that in, and it's less frustrating. So it's a little tip for you, and it works out perfectly. So it looks pretty good, not too bad at all. I guess he gets just a tad bit back heavy with that on, so you have to adjust his leg position to get him to stand. So I think it looks fantastic, and he comes with a type of axe, pickaxe. The plastic is very soft on this too. Unfortunately, the sculpting is really cool though. Multi-tool, and then we have his grenade launcher. Now this is a nice piece. It's a little soft, a lot harder than the other pieces. Your drum here does spin, and it's removable. We've seen this before. Blast effects there. Now lights is going to drive me crazy. And then we have his last weapon. We have his machine gun, front grip. The ammo box is removable. It's already pre-installed when you get it, so just know you can take it off if it's something you choose to do. Kind of wish they had the stock again. I just like it better if it had the stock on, but I get what it's for, but just aesthetically I don't like it. So bringing our last figure that we're going to be taking a look at is a Cobra Hiss Infantry Trooper. This looks perfect in my opinion. I love this figure. I don't have any gripes about it. The color pattern and the aesthetic, it looks fantastic. I like how this looks. Eyes look good. That gives you that Mortal Kombat Scorpion Sub-Zero kind of face mask there. The red pads across the side, across the top. I think what's really nice about this figure, because he's like a bazooka trooper now, the red padding, it gives you kind of that, I feel like it's a protective pads against the back blast of the bazooka. We have the Black Cobra insignia on that pad. Nice textures, if you can see that on this figure. It's really good. Those pads extend to the arm with that same kind of sculpting with the stripe line work. We have a heavy gauntlet there in gloss black at the top of his hands in gloss black with that like a flat black gloves. You see how all that little red line work in the arms. The overall vest or tactical vest here, maybe you could use a little bit of red in colors, maybe painted that grenade or something, but I think it looks good. So I'm not going to too much gripe about that. It's the back of him. He has that red pad there where his backpack is pegged into. Very cool. Here's a back of him. Nice textures and folds in the clothing. We have the red pads here on the sides of his pants. Looks very cool. On his feet. He has the pad on his feet. I think that looks awesome. That does come with a helmet. It's a pure black helmet with a red padding like the other kind of helmet, but it has this little difference here in the front. It does have a 788 in black on that pad. That's pretty cool. It only has on one side. Here, go ahead and put his helmet on, so he looks pretty cool. You can see this, you put it on straight, kind of just give it a little press. He looks quite incredible with that on. Like I said, this guy's a bazooka trooper. I wish he had some kind of firearm to go along with his bazooka, because he's not always going to be blasting. He has no secondary protection. So we do have the bazooka. It's gray. We've seen this for bazooka, no pun intended. The red pad there. And then we have this piece that goes onto the back of the bazooka. There's pegs on. It's kind of annoying in my opinion, but I get it. Open it up and then, or you can just peg something in the back there, like a blast effect or something. A handle and a strap. Looks pretty good. So here are his backpack. Same thing we've seen with bazooka. It's just gray. Kind of a steel. I wish this was like a gunmetal color. That'd have been really cool. And then you get 4 of these rockets that we've seen with bazooka also, basically. They're this gray. So here's all 4 of them. And you just go put these inside the backpack. And this kind of looks like this when you're all done. And then you can store your bazooka here on this little tab. This plastic sometimes is irritating. Okay, after a couple minutes of fussing with it, there we go. Looks pretty cool. And we can just peg it on his back. And then that's it. That's how that looks. Looks pretty awesome. So that's mostly what you get for this the offering, except for the blast effects, which we'll be taking a look at. So we're going to move the officer aside here, and we'll take a look. They actually have the blast effects under this trooper, which I'm not sure if they were going for a specific region of the package art for the accessories, but this is more or less for the bazooka trooper, obviously. Now, I don't know if it's coming through or not, but this is gray. And this is pretty much the same color we've seen with the bazooka offering and the scrap iron. You know what? These didn't come with bazooka. It came with scrap iron. I'm sorry. But it came with scrap iron. I actually been playing with my bazooka with these, and I think they look fantastic. Because the bazooka didn't come with one, so I kind of mix and match when I'm not using scrap iron. So I'd love to have an extra set of these someday. If I can find like a scrap iron on clearance, that'd be pretty cool. Technically, I probably need 3 because I have a Tiger Force bazooka. I don't want to think about that, but here you go. This looks pretty good. Awesome. So here they are, kind of like with the rocket inserted. Just to see what that looks like. I mean, I know it's kind of overkill for a bazooka, but it works out pretty cool for what it's worth. Smaller one. Looks pretty good. And you just insert this into the side, in front of the bazooka, and you got a nice little diorama piece. I'm moving our range viper aside here just to see what we got here. We have some more of the base firing pieces that go into the muzzles of the weapons that are included. So first up, I think we have this. We've seen this before. Same color and everything, so not too bad. Next up we have this piece that you can mix and match with the other pieces, because they have a male and a female in there, so you can set them however you see fit. Next we have this little shot, a little white burst there. Does that compare? If you can see the comparison of the white versus the gray or not. That's kind of how that looks. A little shot there. And then we have the cone piece, kind of like this. And I dropped it. It's like soft plastic. The white on the outside. Possibly my favorite of all the blast effects, besides the bazooka ones, is this smoke effect for your guns. That's pretty cool. Got this little tab. And then we have this effect here, kind of like a rim. The white on the outside, orange on the inside. Pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and move the Cobra Hiss infantry trooper out the way and take a look at the last three pieces. These are definitely new because they're a different color. Best of my knowledge, I pretty much have most of the classified figures, and I haven't seen these before, but I've seen these pieces, but not this color. These are just repainted, but translucent blue here on the end versus more solid blue. I kind of like these for my range viper. I think it's where I use them at. And then last up we have a piece that we've seen before, but this is more a new color of the blue. This is getting a scatter shot. There's a little bit of clear plastic on the tip. If you can see that or not. This light is driving us crazy. I don't think the light likes that black. So what's going on with that? But that's what that piece looks like. Overall, it's a good set. The parts on these are like $79.99. I know that was something that some of us thought was all high, but if you do 25 bucks for 3 figures, 75 bucks. And we're paying $5 for the blast effects. Is that what they're going with? Not sure. And on top of that, it's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and that's probably why we're paying an extra $5. Money grab, or whatever. But I think it's a nice way to enhance your playability for your very first HasLab Hiss tank. I think it was a good idea. I just wish, my final thoughts on this, I just wish that the range viper was a Televapor, and a black Televapor would be, black and red Televapor would be amazing, let alone just black. I think the black and red color scheme on a Televapor would just, probably just sold these out instantly, in my opinion. But I'm not knocking the range viper. He's cool for what he's worth. Some of my biggest complaints is the size of the weapons for the Cobra Hiss officers. Too small. Those are female weapons. The lack of accessory for the port on his back, right there. Right, nothing to stick there. The gray. I don't like the light gray on the officer and on the range viper. The range viper, I don't have a whole lot of issue with, because I like the sculpt from at least the blue and black versions and from the Walmart exclusive. But if I have to pick, I don't like the gray, and I really wish his assault rifle had a stock on it. So that's what I'm trying to get to. Now the Cobra infantry officer, pretty cool. I like it overall. He's probably my favorite. I think he needed a assault rifle to accommodate the figure when he's not blowing stuff up, basically. And overall, biggest gripe is the soft plastic. So, but it is what it is. We knew what we were getting until we bought these. So, let me know what you guys think. I didn't do, before we go, I didn't do any articulation, because this is a lot to get in a one video without making it too long. And we've seen these before. Range Vipers, the Troopers, the articulation is basically the same as all the G.I.JOE classified figures. So it wasn't something that was new for me to show you. I thought the aesthetics and the overall what they came with is more important versus the articulation we've seen 1,000 times over again. Now let me get out of here. So if you guys can like, share, and subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Don't forget the notification bell, and we'll see you in our next review.